it's my opinion, like well-rounded fighter, I think Usman is better.
Khabib Nurmagomedov has shocked the MMA world by claiming Usman Nurmagomedov is better than Ilia Topuria. He explained that while fans can debate endlessly, the truth will only be proven if they eventually fight. But in his opinion, Usman's all-around skill set makes him the superior fighter.
They have to fight, people can talk, they can say whatever they want, like Ilia, Usman, It's my opinion, like well-rounded fighter, I think Usman is better.
Earlier, Usman Nurmagomedov also shared similar views, saying his resume at lightweight was stronger than Ilia Topuria's. He argued that Topuria only had one fight in the division, while he had billions of experience and already held a championship. Usman added that once he beats Paul Hughes in the rematch, he would consider himself the best lightweight in the world.
But Ilia Topuria, how he can be lightweight #1 in the world? He cannot be. He did only one fight. I have 19 fights in lightweight.
And undefeated.
I have 25. No, I beat former champions, I beat champions, and I think my resume is better than him. He have only 15 or 14, 13. How many fights he have?
I think 14. I think that's the number.
Yeah, but I have 14 finished in my career.
Absolutely. So after Islam wins the welterweight title, then you can officially declare yourself the #1 lightweight.
After when I will finish this guy, I will call myself I'm the best lightweight.
However, Usman Nurmagomedov admitted he would not call himself the best lightweight until Islam Makhachev moves up to welterweight and wins the title there. When asked if he now considers himself the top lightweight, he said he would wait, explaining that as long as Islam remains in the division, the crown still belongs to him. Usman added that only after Islam captures the welterweight belt would the debate truly be settled.
With Islam moving to welterweight, do you now believe you are the best lightweight in the world?
We'll see. I don't want to put myself to the lightweight because of Islam still in lightweight. He's not moving. After when he will moving, let's see.
Meanwhile, this wasn't the first time Khabib Nurmagomedov underestimated Ilia Topuria as earlier. Khabib dismissed Ilia Topuria's chances against Arman Tsarukyan, saying Arman had developed into a complete fighter with strong distance control, range, and sharp kicks to neutralize strikers. He noted that Tsarukyan's added experience and the availability of more footage had him made far more dangerous than before. Khabib said Topuria's style would not work against someone so well-rounded, and at this moment, viewed Tsarukyan as the best lightweight in the division.
Давай предположим, что все случилось, Царукян с Топурией дерутся. Ты кого видишь фаворитом в этом бою?
Я не вижу шансов у Топури.
То есть ты считаешь, что
Я
Арман
ему
нападает,
подарки
да?
тоже не даю. Арман слишком дистанционно дерется. С ударниками держит дистанцию хорошо, ногами лучше работает. И сейчас уже Арман слишком хорошо. У него есть материал, который он может посмотреть и хорошо изучить. Если 3 боя назад, если он с ним дрался, может, он не так опасался. Но сейчас уже видно то, чего можно опасаться от Топурии. Я считаю, что в данный момент лучший боец в легком весе это Топурия.
Ты про Царукяна?
Да, я про Царукян.
Khabib Nurmagomedov said Arman Tsarukyan would have an 80-20 advantage over Ilia Topuria, crediting it to his complete MMA skill set rather than just wrestling. He pointed out that with takedowns, elbows, grappling, and submissions, Tsarukyan had many ways to control a fight. Khabib also noted that Arman had become much smarter with experience, carefully studying opponents when avoiding reckless mistakes. He added that Tsarukyan's size, strength, and relentless pressure would give him the edge as the bigger and more dominant fighter on fight night.
Выиграет он при этом за счет борьбы, правильно?
За счет ММА стиля.
Но,
Это не вольная борьба.
но будет проходить, да?
Арман может повалить, у него хорошие локти в партере. Очень хороший локти. Может бороться, разбаривать, спину забирать.
А вот в эту опасную дистанцию с Топурией просто не зайдет.
Не зайдет, слишком уже есть бои, он уже может посмотреть, изучить. Я например, 80/20 я вижу победителем Армана. Я считаю, что его борьба, его прессинг, его говорить, это тоже надо учитывать. Он выше него почти на 10 сантиметров, если не ошибаюсь. И он больше него весом, и в день боя он будет больше него. И конечно.
However, Khabib received some backlash for this opinion, and even his close friend and UFC legend Daniel Cormier disagreed that Arman Tsarukyan would dominate Ilia Topuria by such a wide margin. In his view, the odds that lopsided are reserved for once-in-a-generation fighters like Khabib himself or John Jones. He argued that Topuria is too skilled and dangerous for anyone to beat him 8 out of 10 times. Daniel Cormier said, 80 to 20% is crazy. 80 to 20% is hard when anyone's fighting. The only time 80 to 20% could be thought of in fights has been in the case of Khabib and John Jones. They are the only people who have gone through this whole thing without losing. I don't believe that for one second. I really do disagree with Khabib in that one. There's not a guy in the world that I believe is going to beat Ilia Topuria 8 out of 10 times. Well, things don't end here, as Khabib also claimed Jack Della Maddalena as the most difficult challenge Islam Makhachev has faced to date. He rated Maddalena as a bigger danger than Ilia Topuria or any other past opponent. Pointing to his size, punching power, sharp boxing, and dependable grappling, Khabib admitted that preparing Islam for Maddalena would be tougher and more intriguing than getting ready for Topuria.
Считаю, что Маddalena самый сложный соперник в ислама карьере. Это мое мнение. Ни Чарльз, никто. Ни один из этих бойцов.
И даже не Илья, если бы это бой был бы.
Ну, мое личное мнение, во-первых, Маddalena 2 раза больше, чем Илья.
Сопоставим.
Илья. Он 2 раза больше. Он выше, больше, ноги помощные, корпус, бокс не хуже. И грэпплинг он возится очень хорошо, если вы смотрели. Ну, для меня, если я например, буду готовить Ислама против Илья или Maddalena, для меня больше будет волновать и волнует Maddalena.
In another latest interview, Khabib Nurmagomedov again called Jack Della Maddalena the toughest challenge of Islam Makhachev's career. He said he had followed JDM for years and saw him as a dangerous striker with clean technique. Khabib also noted that Maddalena had already beaten skilled wrestlers and dealt with those matchups effectively, which in his eyes made him a serious threat to Islam.
Бой Ислам Макхачев против Maddaлены. От тебя прозвучало о том, что это будет самый тяжелый бой в карьере Ислама. Почему?
Ну, мы не можем сразу все карты раскрывать, потому что наши соперники тоже нас слушают. Но скажу так, что я давно слежу за Maddaленой. Он как боец очень интересный. Тогда, конечно, у меня даже в голове не было насчет боя Ислама и Maddaлены, но судя по его скиллам, по его технике, по его ударке, судя по тому, как он защищается против борцов, а он дрался с борцами. Рамазан хорошо борется, Гилберт Бронс хорошо борется, Белал Мухаммад хорошо борется. Он дрался с такими.
Khabib Nurmagomedov said Jack Della Maddalena had already shown his quality by beating fighters with size, wrestling, power, and durability. He highlighted JDM's 9-0 UFC record and noted that he trains with the same team that prepared Alexander Volkanovski for Islam. Because of that, Khabib considered him a very dangerous opponent.
Ребятами, у кого длинные рычаги, тот же Холланд. Ну, то есть он дрался и с борцами, и с ударниками, и с физически крепкими ребятами. Он такой, знаешь, проверку прошел 9-0 UFC чемпион. У него та команда, которая готовила Волконовского на Ислама. Вот это все вместе, если сопоставить, я вижу в нем очень грозного соперника.
Javier Mendez agreed with Khabib Nurmagomedov's view, naming Jack Della Maddalena as the toughest opponent Islam Makhachev has faced. He stressed that this matchup was far from simple and called it one of the biggest responsibilities he and Khabib have handled as coaches. Mendez explained that if Islam managed to make the fight look easy, it would be the result of perfect preparation and capitalizing on crucial opportunities. He also gave respect to Jack and his team for being mentally sharp and ready for the test.
Khabib recently said that's Islam's toughest test. Do you agree?
I'm going to have to 1,000,000% agree with Khabib. I think this is our toughest test, and this is Khabib and my biggest responsibility is to make sure we get Islam on tip-top shape and ready to do what we think and we believe he will do, and that's win. But it's not going to be easy. And if we make it look easy, it's because we were properly prepared, and Jack just happened to give us what we needed. But this is by no means a walkover fight. No means. This is a really, really tough fight. And we have immense respect for Jack and their team and what they can do. And so we're prepared, mentally now. Physically, we'll got 2 months before we start camp. We'll go then. But right now, we're mentally prepared for what Jack brings. And he brings a lot.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Jack Della Maddalena's coach, Ben Vickers, expressed full confidence going into UFC 322, insisting Islam Makhachev won't be able to withstand Jack's power. He argued that unlike Belal Muhammad, Islam lacks the same durability, and one clean shot could end the fight at any moment, whether early or late. Vickers pointed to Jack's combination of knockout power and strong cardio, calling him dangerous from start to finish.
I just don't think Islam has the chin that Belal has.
You feel like it's a situation where this is going to be an eventual down the line, like 3rd, 4th round? Or do you think people might even be shocked to see it happen earlier on?
We know for a fact if Jack clips someone clean on the chin, they can go over. So it could happen in the first minute, it could happen in the 24th minute, it could happen in the 24 minute 59 seconds, it could happen 3 rounds in. Jack likes long fights, you know, he likes to be in there, but obviously we're not getting paid for overtime. So if the opportunity arises, we're happy to take it. But Jack's cardio, as we saw, Bilal's reputedly the best cardio in the UFC, and Jack out cardioed him. Bilal was more tired than Jack towards the end of the fight. So you know, Jack's cardio is exceptional, his power is exceptional, and yeah, I like the fight, I really do.
Then Vickers said he doesn't expect Islam Makhachev to fight recklessly, noting that Islam is far too composed and disciplined for that. However, he believes Islam will still look to close the distance early and lean on his grappling to train Jack Della Maddalena. Vickers explained that trading shots with Jack for too long would expose Islam to the same knockout threat Bilal Muhammad faced, which is why he expects Islam to avoid prolonged stand-up exchanges and steer the fight into his strengths as soon as possible.
Do you think it's straight away shooting in, establishing his wrestling, getting JDM up against the fence, or do you think he goes out there and actually tries to test his striking against you guys?
No, I don't think he's going to go out and try and test his striking, but I also don't think he's going to rush. You know what I mean? He's a very composed guy. He's a very high-level, skillful person. You know, he's not going to rush and be running at Jack's hips. You know, but he is going to try and get hold of Jack as quickly as possible, even if it's just to try and tire him out in the early parts of the fight and get him into his world quickly. He will take damage from Jack as Bilal did if he's on the feet. So I'm sure he's going to not want to be there.
Meanwhile, Javier Mendez responds to Islam being favored over Jack Della Maddalena by downplaying the in-betting odds. He stresses that the fight is more challenging than most realize and warns that underestimating an opponent can be dangerous. Mendez says he avoids that mindset, viewing the matchup as nearly even, with at most a small advantage for Islam.
I don't believe those odds. I'm sorry. It's a lot tougher fight than what the odds are saying. I'm not going on that. You get caught up with that stuff, you know, that's when it could go bad. Just think about the people that were like 15 or 20 to 1, and all of a sudden they go out there and get their butt kicked, you know, underestimating their opponent. You know, it's dumb. I'm not underestimating this guy. If anything, it's a 1% advantage for us type fight. That's the way I want to look at it.
Javier Mendez describes Islam Makhachev as a fighter who never needs extra motivation, always sticking to the plan and executing it. He points out that Islam continues to show steady improvement and stresses that while people often compare him to Khabib, they are very different in both style and personality. According to Mendez, each man brings his own unique approach, with Islam even showing a humorous side that sets him apart from Khabib.
Islam has always been, you know, the kind of fighter that you just wind them up, tell them what to do, and let them go. And that's exactly what's happening here. You know, he does his own. You don't need to motivate him. You just need to tell him what you want, and he'll go out and do it. I'm very happy to see the progress he's making, because I do see it, you know, and you know, he's a different kind of guy. As you notice, him and Khabib, they're different. Islam isn't Khabib, Khabib isn't Islam. So a lot of the characteristics of what they do or what they don't do, they're different, but they're also very funny in their own way. Islam's got some really funny sayings that really catch on, you know, but they're different approach. They're not the same kind of approach.
Dan Hooker also weighed in on Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena, saying he believed the UFC intentionally set up the matchup for stylistic reasons. He suggested Makhachev's team must have seen something in Jack, but admitted it's still a significant step up for Jack Della Maddalena. Hooker highlighted Jack's size and strength, noting that while Islam has a chance, he felt the fight slightly favors Jack.
Pretty confident stylistically with that Jack Della fight to kind of gone out of their way to chase that fight down. So they obviously see something. I feel like it'll be close, but yeah, that's a big step up. Jack Della's a pretty big boy. Yeah.
Do you think Islam can get past him?
He's obviously got I feel like he's got a chance, but I feel like that fight leans towards Jack Della.
Meanwhile, Colby Covington predicted Islam Makhachev would defeat Jack Della Maddalena. He acknowledged that Islam is naturally smaller, but praised him as a well-rounded fighter. Covington explained that if Islam secures takedowns and maintains control, he has a strong chance to win. While the size difference makes the fight intriguing, he noted that with the odds favoring Makhachev, he leans toward the champion.
Islam versus JDM. What do you make of that? Islam moving up to now welterweight.
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. You know, Islam, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, he could definitely get the job done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the size advantage plays a difference in the fight.
Who do you favor?
I mean, I seen the odds were pretty big. They favored Makhachev like 3-1. So I guess I got to go with the odds if they're going 3-1. But just because JDM doesn't have good takedown defense, but you never know. It's a fight, and JDM has some good hands, so it should be an exciting fight for the fans.
Robert Whittaker also analyzed the matchup, leaning in favor of Jack Della Maddalena. He felt Jack's toughness and determination would help him handle Islam Makhachev's wrestling pressure. Whittaker highlighted that Jack's striking could be decisive if the fight stays undefeated, and noted that Islam might be cautious, relying only on takedowns, aware that Jack remains dangerous even off his back.
I'm going to go Jack. I think Jack has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns, to fight the ground, the takedown attacks that Islam is going to go for. And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins in the hands. Yeah. I think Jack's got the better game to strike over 5 rounds than Islam does as well, especially if Islam is trying to go for takedowns during the fight. Yeah. I think, and this is people sleep on Jack's grappling game. They sleep on his jiu-jitsu. I don't think Islam is going to be as gun-ho with the takedowns as everybody believes, because Jack has that level of offense off his back.
Stephen Thompson commented on Islam Makhachev's welterweight debut, highlighting size and strength as the main challenges. He noted that many welterweights cut from over 205 pounds, making the division particularly tough, while acknowledging that Jack Della Maddalena may have the height advantage. Thompson emphasized that overall power is more important. He praised Islam's grappling, but reminded that Jack has already faced and handled strong wrestlers like Bilal Muhammad.
I don't know, man. I mean, when you're going up to the welterweight division, those are some big boys. And I know Islam Makhachev walks around fairly heavy, but a lot of these 170s, they walk around real heavy. I'm talking about, over 205, 210 to the 215. Some of the guys that I faced would walk around at that weight. I think the height, I think they might be the same height. I think JD might be a little taller, but when it comes to those guys and their strength, Islam, I think, is going to have a tough time. Now, do I think he could get it done? Yes. I think he's that good of a grappler. But like I said, JDM has faced some of the best welterweight grapplers and wrestlers in the division. Bilal being one of them. I think it's going to be a tough night for him. I would like to see Islam fight Topuria. That's just me. I would love to see that fight happen. But if he comes up, we'll see what the UFC gets behind. And we all know you got to convince the UFC to make it happen. And you do that first by getting on Twitter, shouting it out, and get people talking about it. And that's what Islam did. So we'll see if that fight happens with JDM.
Stephen Thompson said Islam Makhachev has a chance to win, but nothing is certain. He explained that the outcome depends on which fighter executes their game plan effectively. And when asked for a prediction, Thompson leaned in favor of Jack Della Maddalena.
I mean, I think he could. He can. He can win this fight. It's not a for sure thing. It's not one of those on paper, he's going to just beat him. No. He can win it. It all depends on who shows up and who sticks to their game plan.
Okay, but if you had to give a lean, if you had to pick someone, who would you pick?
I'm going to go for JDM.
Furthermore, UFC bantamweight Malcolm Wellmaker says he respects Jack Della Maddalena's skills, but still considers Islam Makhachev the superior fighter. He acknowledges that moving up in weight presents a challenge. Yet, he believes Islam will adjust, adapt, and continue showing why he's regarded as a champion.
Jack looked real good, but I think Islam is the best, man. I think Islam is the absolute best. I do think, obviously, moving up a big difference in weight class will have some effect, but I think that he'll be the champion that we know him to be, and he'll find a way to get it done.
That wraps up today's video. What do you think about the thrilling matchup between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev? Share your predictions in the comments. Would love to hear them. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore our other MMA content for more updates and analysis.